Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the poor Twin Guard's main vehicle, currently gutted and just about able to float on one side. In today's episode, we are going to push forward and finally take out the Steel Empire. Once that's done, we are going to have 4 resource zones, all with infinite resources, currently feeding our lovely legion. And because of this, I've decided once we have beat the Steel Empire, in the description below, there will be a straw poll asking what enemy should we fight next. This is between the Onyx Watch, the White Flyers, and the Lightning Hoods, although there will also be options to fight 2 of them at once. I won't fight all 3 at once because I feel like that will be a little bit too hectic, and we'll probably just end up defending just infinitely, but fighting 2 of them I think would be quite a bit of fun, but it's completely up to you. We have 3 targets and up to 2 of them will be fighting us. Now before we go anywhere, I'm going to try my best, whilst already completely over the volume limit, to make this a little bit more stable. I don't like having this craft floating up and down on one side looking quite so sad. So what we're going to do is quickly add a PID system and see if we can make it at least a little bit more stable in terms of movement. If I can get this thing moving once again with an AI, I will be very, very happy. I've already added an automated control block to turn off all of the shield projectors, which we're using over 2,000 engine power, so at least now it's somewhat fuel efficient. So I'll be right back once I've done a little bit of conversion work. And let go, and there we are, at around about 50 altitude. That should be somewhat stable. Ish. Not perfectly, and it is causing the whole craft to slowly slide because the centre of mass isn't in the middle, but that will stay fairly stable in the middle of the air. The one problem is we are running out of fuel, and I have no space to add a refinery to this thing, so what I'm going to do is completely convert it into RTG power, so it's going to be completely electrically powered. So next, we need to add some forward thrusters, and we need to add a new AI, and then our little harvesting craft is all done. Well, that I wasn't expecting. I completely forgot we had the ion thrusters at the back, so it can already turn all by itself. I've just added a really basic AI, I've added some backwards thrusters, and by the looks of things, it might be able to just about turn itself. Yes, it can. I think I am going to need to add some more thrusters though, because the turning is incredibly slow, but it is doing what I'm ordering it to. And so we have a little movable harvester base thing from the corpse of the Twin Guard's main vehicle. We are about to be under attack, so the Steel Empire still has a little bit of kick left, but it is going against the main force of our army, which of course is the group which just took out the Twin Guard. I'm also very happy to say that this vehicle is now finished with all of its holes and damage. It still looks like a floating corpse, but at least it's a functional floating corpse, completely powered by the RTGs and battery power, so no fuel being used. It can harvest, it has an AI, it can move around. It's pretty much as good as it's going to be. It's never going to be in combat, but again, it wasn't ever meant to be like that. I'm also happy to say this only took around about 15 minutes. The last 2 times I've done this, with the Land Marauder and with the Omnitaurus, I believe it's called, the very large Steel Empire vehicle, it took around about 30-40 minutes, so at least I'm getting better at weird emergency repair work. And now, let's get into this fight. And so the battle begins, and look at all of those scarabs in that little circle there. I really should add some missiles to the Bloodletter. As much as people do hate missiles and me using them, it's just a smart thing to do. Adding 1 or 2 missiles to an otherwise one-weapon hull tends to do pretty well. They all in combat mode? Well, one of them isn't. Okay, now they are. Let's begin. With my camera going flying off. Ooh, that looks very painful. Okay, one of the Bloodletters is under some heavy attack. We've done some damage to their brush cutter, but that Bloodletter has been defeated. Not surprising how many attacks were against us. And of course all the missiles as well. Here come the missiles from our Krulls. They should do a fair bit even against the heavy armor, or maybe not. Okay, one of the Scarabs has been defeated by the Bloodletter's cannons. The cannons are definitely more powerful than the missiles. The reason why the missiles do so well, and sorry for my speech at the moment, it's all over the place. The reason why the missiles do so well is it's almost a guaranteed hit. It's almost guaranteed damage no matter your positioning. The turrets, on the other hand, you have to be positioned quite well. Lots of damage being done there. The missiles coming in from behind and finishing it off. Seems like one of our other Bloodletters has been defeated. So we've lost 2 Bloodletters and no Krulls. Well, we haven't quite lost that Bloodletter, but its turret has been defeated. Okay, let's have a quick look-see at our damage. Let's turn everyone off so I can have a quick look. So 2 of the Bloodletters are on just under 70%. We have the Krulls, which have taken a little bit of damage, and that's that. I am really happy with these vehicles. Especially the Bloodletters, to be perfectly honest, because they're so cheap. They're not expensive, they're only 20,000 resource, and they have quite a low fuel consumption in comparison to the Scarabs, which are 37,000 each, and have a much higher fuel consumption. I do believe, though, that the turrets are definitely the weak spot. They keep on getting taken out, so I think I am tempted to make a slightly heavier duty version of the Bloodletter, which will have a heavy armor version of the turret cap. I can't just increase the size because I've run out of volume limit, but if I change it to heavy armor, it could mean that the turret caps survive a few more attacks. Well done, Krulls. You have become really aggressive now. Pull all, let's get you all repaired. A bit low on resource, but thankfully over here we have the Juggernaut, which is now stealing resource from that zone. So let's just grab all of this over here. Then we'll go over there for repairs, and then we will attack the Twin Guard. Purely because the Twin Guard are in the way, and I want to see some more of their designs. The next episode I'm going to dedicate to retrofitting some of our current vehicles, because at the moment all we are using are the Bloodletters and the Krulls, which, although that's very effective, it's also quite boring. So what I'm going to do is mainly focus on retrofitting the Cultist to make it a little bit more stable, and also converting the Shriven, either making it into a hovercraft or just raising the ground clearance so it can actually deal with terrain. At the moment I'm not using it purely because it gets stuck on everything, which makes it almost pointless in a lot of the battles we've been having recently. And on that note, I have been adding some more tanks to our forces. Over here we have 3 more Bloodletters, over here we have 2 Krulls currently being created, and this group has just came from over there and is 2 Bloodletters and a singular Krull. Although I have for some reason also selected one of our Cathalons, which is just sitting over here to kind of relax. So you 3, let's go and put you into the main force, as you are not defending at the moment. It turns out, once again, I was being a little bit derpy. The Omnitaurus was sitting here doing absolutely nothing because it had completely ran out of material storage. Now it's got 11,000, although I think I am going to have to increase that a little bit more. So all of this stuff here, which is there purely for looks, is now being converted into some additional material storage. In addition to you, and pretty much everything else I can see, which is only 1 block in size, just to make things easier on myself. Of course I can't just keep on placing them, because I currently am way over the volume limit. In fact, I am over 4,000 over the volume limit. Over 5,000 over the volume limit. I can do math, just not particularly quickly. Okay, so the repair work is now done, so our group is going to go ahead and fight this Group 100 Twin Guard, and then move 1 to the west, and finally finish off the Steel Empire, which of course includes the Goliath, which is its main force. The Fortress Strength, however, is actually getting very close to 100, so very soon I think it's going to shoot off a group to attack us. So I may just wait a little bit. The Krull do not float. Confirmed. Well, I got a little bit bored and I started messing around with this turret again, and, long story short, and cue the loud noises, It's gone from shooting at 360 rounds per minute per cannon to going at around about 430, so the damage keeps on increasing. Oh, please don't hit my own vehicle. One of those definitely just hit my own vehicle. I'm hoping it didn't do too much. Well, it knocked out several pieces of metal, which at least shows how powerful these shells actually are, and how fast we can now shoot them. I got bored again, and I think I've made something rather atrocious. Both of these cannons can now fire, or at least should be able to fire, at around about 1,000 rounds per minute. So, let's test it out. Incoming loud noises, and please bear in mind that what we're testing for is if the gun suddenly stops firing after 6 shots, or there's any periods of space in between the 6 shots. Both of these indicate a problem with the gun. Either the cooldown is too high, or we don't have enough autoloaders to actually feed the shells. Go. Well, the recoil's far too much, but that was absolutely perfect. These guns can now fire at 1,000 rounds per minute per cannon, and there's 2 cannons. That's going to make us run out of ammunition far too quickly. Okay, that was a nice little test. I'm not going to keep it like that, but I thought it would be something fun to do. That's what happens if you fire the gun for more than 10 seconds. Completely flips the tank. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at all of those missiles. And they're going absolutely everywhere. I was hoping they'd all focus on one target, because doing that, a lot of the damage would be wasted. Come on, please. Oh, that's so bad. They're going all at the same spot as well. Please don't break through. Thank you for using so much EMP. The frag shells have just done some damage to that target. One of the enemies have gone down over there, and it seems like they're ignoring our forces over there. Another airborne has gone down. Some missiles bounced off. They must be using, by the looks of things, a single explosive and then EMP, which just isn't doing anything. Ooh, what is that? Several more of the enemies have gone down. Oh, the fragments defeating that. It looked like it was quite close quarters. Missiles being released from the Krull. They are remarkably frail though, 1 or 2 shots and they are dead, even from just the shells. But one well-placed missile is simply downing them. Oh, there goes our bloodletter. Yeah, exploded from underneath. That is definitely the only weak point of the bloodletter. It's the only part which is only 1 armor thick. All the rest is 2 or 3. So 1 bloodletter has been destroyed. Come on, frag shells, I believe in you! Just above. They're having a real tough time with this one because it's sort of bouncing around, and apparently I have been hit. Wait, was I inside of a vehicle? Well, that was weird. I swear I jumped off at the start, but apparently not. So I do apologise for the fact we can't really see what's going on now. I'm sure there's a way to fix this in the options, and I will look afterwards. Fragment shells there, finally finishing off one of the smaller craft. A missile hitting the Krull. Trying my best to figure out what's going on. Again, I do apologise for this. Normally, I try to jump off the tank at the start to avoid this, but apparently I got stuck when I jumped. The fragments killing it and the missiles finishing it off. Okay. How many enemies are left? There's one over there which just went down. Oh, I hate the fact it even affects this view. There's no way to get away from it, but I'm sure there's some option in the option menu where I can disable that. Thankfully not missing too much of the fight there. So, 1 bloodletter was almost down, the other one was slightly damaged. Their missiles are just not very powerful. And if we had flares, we would have avoided all of that damage, because they are definitely infrared, because they keep on going for our movement parts. All of our propulsion systems. Okay, we're full on health. The enemy base is at strength 93, so I'm just going to wipe that out. Wow, it's remarkably dark right now. Okay, so the frag shells are currently hitting the bear at the back, and let's see if that can get finished off very, very quickly. They're just about missing. I do think the detection system could have a little bit of work done to it. Thankfully there, the Scarab shot just about missing, along with those missiles having a real tough time keeping up with our Bloodletter. Frag shells finishing off the Orion. And that is... I'm not quite sure. I think that might be a Kingfisher. Either way, completely finished off by the shells of the Bloodletter. Scarab there firing and thankfully missing. Some missiles incoming from the Krull. Oh, there's something behind us. There is an Orion behind us. That's where they're going. And literally going underneath it. Okay, that's kind of amazing. Not very effective, but also kind of amazing. Those frag shells are so difficult to stop, and the fact they ignore shields makes them so good. Frag is definitely an underrated shell type. The Scarab could not hit a target. Some EMP there, taking out the local weapon controller by the looks of things, as one of our Bloodletters has now completely stopped firing. The Scarab resisting quite a bit of damage. All of that heavy armor. And the missiles coming in once again from the back. It seems like the Scarab has a weak spot on its back where the missiles keep on hitting, because the front, I have just not seen any real damage be done. Goodbye, and that's probably a lot of resource currently on the floor. We've lost almost no health from that, and so we can carry on. I've only just now realised why the enemy flyers are having such a difficult time killing the Bloodletters with their infrared missiles. It's because where our thrusters are is the only location which has double thick heavy armour, so they're using very low explosive damage, high EMP missiles against heavy armour, which doesn't really do as much as you might think it might do, and as a result it's always hitting in this section, slowing down the tank, but never getting through, and even the side here has a little bit of heavy armour because that's where the ammunition storage is. There's one very small storage here, and then one very small storage on the opposite side. We just have accidentally heavily countered them. I've decided, since these will automatically go for the largest opponent anyway, since we're using the active radar seekers, I am going to convert all of the Krulls into using EMP missiles, just for the next fight. This way, there's at least a good chance we might be able to take out the AI of the enemy main vehicle fairly early, and doing this would make capturing it a lot easier. So I think I've already done the other two, so I think this is the final Krull to be converted. Yes, it is. There we are, all of the EMP, so hopefully that will make everything go smoothly. So it turns out there was one more defending force currently at the enemy main base, and it's quite a big one. So the enemies, we have a Peregrine, a Hadron, a Polaris, another one of those, a Brushcutter, Hadron, Brushcutter. As you can see, there are just lots of them. But of interest, there is a Reaper and a Shadowcat. Now, if we do lose to these, or we do have massive casualties, it's not too bad, because we already have some reinforcements heading our way, which is 2 more Krulls and 3 more Bloodletters. So if we lose this force, we can still press on with the final assault. The battle starts, there is the Shadowcat, there is friendly fire already, and the Reaper looms above. That is so much in the way of the enemy force count. Hopefully there'll be a lot of friendly fire because of how clumped up they are. The Hadron there firing and thankfully missing. Water finally despawning. Why are my units not moving? They should be moving, they definitely have fuel. I think it's just because how laggy it is, it's hard to tell time going by. Missiles have been released by all of the Krulls. Enemy at the back there being peppered with shells from both of our side Bloodletters. Okay, that's going to go down very, very soon. The enemy nuke is airborne. We have lost 2 Bloodletters already. Okay, that's not going as well as I'd hope. We're now firing against the Reaper with both of our Bloodletters, although we have now gone into degraded mode, so it is a bit harder to see what's going on. There's the enemy nuke. Oh no, please don't go for the Krull. No, 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 no. Okay, that's going to definitely hit the Krull. just missing! Why did that not detonate? And hitting the floor! Oh, that was good. Well, the second one's going to finish off the job, most likely, but even so... knocking off the back section of the Krull, which thankfully doesn't have the ammunition or the AI. So the Krull will still be able to hopefully fight. It's hard to tell if the Bloodletters are actually firing or not right now. I'm assuming they are, because some of the enemies are dying without shells going anywhere near them, so it must be from the degraded mode. Missiles heading towards the Reaper, although there's a load of missiles currently heading towards this Bloodletter. It's definitely got through the heavy armor. And the Bloodletter is gone. The main turret has instantly been knocked off. Oh lord, I've just realised we're still using EMP missiles on the Krull. Oh, no wonder they're not doing any damage. Hi Krull, how you doing? Just checking up on a few things. Don't mind me. You're using the wrong weapon. Hopefully that will help out somewhat. And you're not firing, I assume your local weapon controller got knocked off. Which means I could actually fire you manually, and that would fire a full volley into the air. Kind of missing some of the fight here, but trying to guarantee a victory. Fire! There we are, it's firing. We've just fired that manually. Oh, that other Krull. Is that the Krull? No, the Bloodletter there is being just hammered by the enemy Reaper by the looks of things. Is the Reaper still up? If not, then what has such a fast-firing gun on the enemy team? This one's gone offline as well for some reason. I don't have time to set them all to minimum, so let's just change them out for frag and then jump on to the next. Come on, let me out, thank you. Door, please open. Oh, I don't even know what that was from, but that really... I even saw it coming, just this massive cram cannon shot. Wow, we really lost this one. I wonder what the force count was on the enemy team. It couldn't have been 100, because I've seen 100 from the Steel Empire. It's nowhere near this big. We definitely did some damage to those, though. They have lost a lot of their forces.
Receiving.
That's the Krull that just fired, so hopefully this is one of the ones which got swapped out. Yes, it is, but I just got killed again. The Krulls are still up, but nothing else. I'm not going to capture the enemy vehicles, because that would just be so cheaty right now. We could easily win this fight if we started capturing things near to us, but the enemy have won. It would be completely unfair to do that. Friendly fire there? Good, just absolutely good enough for me. Every time one of the enemies die, it is permanently lost from the force. They can repair damage, but they can't simply add a new vehicle, so... it is worth it just to stay here. Even though all of our vehicles aren't firing anymore or fighting, they are still just giant lumps of metal. We may as well allow them to live out their last bit of life. Because occasionally they shoot each other. Oh, will this one hit its ally? Almost. It's going just over them. But that one did hit the back. We have a Krull over here. Let's have a quick look, see if it's got its weapons operational. No, it's also lost all its ammo. This one's dead. Just utterly... utterly destroyed. Even the roof's been removed. Enemy Shadowcat. Is that our Krull, or is it one of theirs? No, it's definitely our Krull. It's being fired at. I'm still hoping to see some friendly fire. Like that one, for instance. One of their missile users definitely does not have a friend or foe identifier. It keeps on shooting its own things. I love how the Shadowcat kind of stops before getting too close. That's a very neat type of AI. Or perhaps it has just run out of fuel. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it has just run out of fuel. It's seemingly going onto the ground. Look at how many enemies there are. I wonder how much resource this is worth. 200,000 maybe? Perhaps a bit more? Once again, me being killed. One Krull still left. At least we killed the Reaper. The Reaper was defeated along with a lot of the smaller vehicles. So what I'm going to have to do now is back off and get my forces, all of my forces once again collected, so that we can make another push to try and take out this force. We have severely weakened it at least. And once again friendly fire from its ally. The enemy copter died somehow? Just outweighting them leads to so many deaths. See, look, those missiles are going straight for the Scarab. They're not even going for our target. They have no friend or foe. Oh, that's where the cram came from. It came from the bear. Okay, so back in a second, I'll just allow this to play out. Using a single cultist as a distraction, I am buying a little bit of time to repair a final bloodletter. So that way we have 3 bloodletters and 3 Krulls once again. I am very, very glad I decided to start moving forces over, because if not, there's a good chance the Steel Empire would have taken this tile almost instantly. I'm fairly confident though we can now finish off what's left of the enemy, since they no longer have their nuke, they no longer have the Reaper, they no longer have the Shadow Cat, and once again they are very, very clumped up. We should hopefully be able to deal with them. I think this has really showcased our inability to take down very heavily armoured opponents. We are good against light armour, we are good against medium armour, fast opponents don't really scare us too much, but very heavily armoured opponents destroy us. Amazingly, because of this combat, I was able to sneak in my transport vehicle and grab all of the resources over here. We are going to be able to repair this and possibly make a 4th bloodletter. Time to hopefully get some revenge on the enemy. Now, of course, we are using the fragment missiles, so we should be able to do a fair bit more damage, and this time we're going to put our bloodletters a little bit further back. That was definitely a problem in the previous battle. We are still sadly only using 3 bloodletters, so we are 1 down from the previous engagement, but of course the enemy also don't have their Reaper or Shadowcat and a number of their smaller tanks. So, hopefully it'll be a more even playing field. Some of the enemies have spawned in really close to each other, and for some reason, a lot of them are facing the wrong way. That's definitely a big bonus to us. However, apparently some of the land hasn't spawned in, so one of our Krulls is having a pretty bad time trying to land. Oh, wow. Because of how the land spawned in, the Krull detonated. Well, we've lost 1 Krull because it just hit the floor. Fantastic. A very fair start. Well, at least the enemies are, like I say, facing the wrong way. Okay, there we are. Frag shells going at the enemy bear. Hopefully that can be taken out a lot faster than last time. Well, the frag shell's killing that thing, so that's pretty good. 2 of the enemies are now dead. Behold the power of fragment shells. Oh, walking right into all of those missiles. Well, floating into those missiles and being hit by the Scarab shell. That bloodletter is dead. Okay, we have 1 bloodletter already down, but a lot of the enemies, finally the missiles are now getting there, although it seems like just the advanced cannons have been doing very well all on their own. Definitely spawning them further back has helped, and the fact they weren't facing the right way really helped. I need to make those missiles longer range, though. I mean, they used to have, of course, 1 more fuel, which we have just replaced for 1 more warhead, and I think keeping it with the extra fuel might be the better idea, because that is not long range at all. Fragments happily finishing off the Polaris there. Well, at least doing a lot of damage to the Polaris. Oh, what's happened over there? Is that a Krull or a bloodletter? One of the bloodletters have taken a lot of damage on the side. Has taken a lot of damage. Like I was saying earlier, my speech today, really bad. I cannot speak correctly. The joys of having a speech impediment and some days being far worse than others, I suppose. Wow, that looked really cool. Please don't hit. Oh, no, that is going nowhere near our lovely hover tank. Look at that, though. Just all those hits just being deflected and taking so long to go through because of the heavy armor. Hitting the front of the Scarab is worthless. that poor bloodletter. And so, we are victorious. We have got revenge, even if it did come at the sacrifice of one of our cultists. Again. Is there enough scrap materials around for a full repair, or am I going to have to go back? I think we'll just about be able to make one full repair if we gather all of the scrap materials. And then we can make a push before they once again reinforce. Here we go, hopefully the final battle against the Steel Empire. We have a facility, the Goliath itself, a coal factory, a command center, and then another facility. The problem is, I don't know if all of those different buildings have weaponry, so I'm just going to pretend they're not there, and if they do happen to have weaponry, we're probably going to be punished quite a bit, but hopefully we can defeat the Goliath pretty quickly. So let's spawn there so we can instantly jump and start running towards the Goliath in order to capture it if it becomes AI dead. Begin. The enemy Goliath seems to have spawned a little bit in the ground. Let's see if it'll pop up. Whoa, when we unfreeze the game. Well, that's a bit oh wow, those were a lot of shots. Well, that was a little bit unfair. One of our bloodletters apparently not in combat mode. There are some of the shells from our bloodletters coming at it. And let's see how much damage it takes when it eventually lands. So many smoke dispensers. Sorry, being very distracted there. Wow, that thing's huge. Sadly raining, so I can't look at both my troops and the Goliath at the same time. There's some heavy armor. It's taking those missiles and just doing almost nothing to it. Okay, let's jump off the vehicle we're currently on. And let's head towards the Goliath. Health below 80... Wait a second. Health below 80% and sinking. Is that the Goliath? That is so bugged out. Oh, the land campaign needs some serious work done to it. It's still such a great campaign, but wow, I'm sure half of this damage was just done to itself by the fall. Everyone stop, I'm going to try and capture it before it detonates. Thankfully it is being sustained by repairs, but it seems like it's taken almost critical damage already. That is so unfair. Wow, it isn't actually being sustained by repairs. Why is it sinking? Unless that's something separate. No, perhaps it had a second vehicle attached to it? That was a nuke going off. I don't know what to say anymore about this. Let's jump over to this one instead. It seems like that's a lot closer. It seems like its weapons are offline, but its movement isn't. Yeah, that's how it seems to be, so it's perfect to be captured. What an unfair battle, though. It must have taken out one of its AI, the one which was controlling its weapons. As I was looking back at some of the footage, including some of the stuff I'm not going to keep, like when I was just standing around making sure the land spawns in, I definitely allowed the land to spawn in before the Goliath did, so I have no idea why that was caused. I did everything in my power to prevent something like that, and it seems like it just happened anyway. Now if you excuse me, I'm jumping on board the Goliath. Hello! Welcome to the Goliath. So, let's find the AI and remove it. There is definitely at least one left, which is controlling movement, but my guess is that the weapon AI has been completely removed. Oh, it's like a factory! That's neat. Well, at least it looks like it's a factory. Either a factory or a facility or something like that, and now it's going dark. So let's find the AI and quickly remove it so it's on our side. Just having a look around, and look at that. It's very dark in here, so hopefully you can see this, but it has all of the different components on these little racks. I'm not even sure what those racks are made of. Oh, it's the poster holders. That's really cool. What a awesome attention to detail. A little section of a vehicle here being built. That is really, really awesome. I think this may be one of the best things I've seen so far in this campaign, in terms of looks. In there is ammunition. It has a little missile rack here, which is going nowhere, and in fact, they've even made the missiles look like proper missiles, which A lot of the missiles sometimes don't, and they've even made a little forklift. Oh, that's so cute! We've done so much damage, it's not even repairing itself. We have no rush at the moment. There is no need to rush and find where the AI is. I'm assuming it might be up here. No, that's like a little lookout thing. Where would I be if I was the AI of this thing? Somewhere with a lot of heavy metal, I would imagine. Somewhere like in here. Or perhaps falling through. Let's try that again. A random side note, while I'm looking around, I can't see any repair bots. Not a single one. So either it doesn't have them built in, or we managed to somehow destroy all of the repair bots, and that looks like a mainframe to me. It was literally right in front of me. Are you kidding me? Of course. Of course it was. Incoming loud noises. Done. Are you mine? You are mine. Welcome then. I hate how all of these storage blocks get destroyed when you capture a vehicle. That is so annoying. Okay, so this is ours. Welcome to our fleet then, and with the rest of you, go ahead and destroy the facilities. Which also apparently have a lot of smoke dispensers. It's a good job I'm not actually using lasers at the moment, because they would have been so countered. The only lasers we have are the laser designators, which our missiles don't even use. And missiles look so much better now. I love that trail effect. I really want to build a swarm missile type of vehicle. Very short range, very rapid firing missiles. Probably just like single warheads. That's 2 damaged, and this should be 2 damaged very, very soon, as the fragments just cut straight through it. And there's some more missiles. Is that it, or are we done? Or are we not done, rather? Yes, we are done. Okay, so this thing, then. It's currently got engine power, but it is... Is it actually doing any shields? Yes, it is. Okay, so the very first thing I want to do is convert one of those control blocks. Ooh. Recall all assigned vehicles. I bet this did come with another vehicle, but it ended up going through the floor and then drowning. That is so unfair. Oh well. We died earlier, so it's not too bad. Anyway, shield projectors turn off every few seconds. There we are, so it's constantly turning the shields off. And then I instantly destroy it because I'm a complete derp. Let's try that again. Every few seconds, turn off. Done. There we are. So the shields are off, and we're using almost no engine power now. We already have some harvesters, so all we need is to add a couple of storage blocks. And the easiest to place I've found is, if I can find it, this one. Because you actually place it from the bottom, unlike the rest. Why can't I place that? Holding down shift to replace... Okay, that's a little bit weird. Never mind then, let's go with the singles. Oh, it's because I'm replacing something that's only worth 1. You have to replace something of equal value or more. Okay, never mind, we just have to find bigger things to replace. But let's just add a couple of these for now, so we have some resource. Actually, what we could replace are these. The ammo storage. Since we're not going to actually use this for fighting anymore, replace all the ammo with the material storage. Nice and easy. Oh look, it's like a proper ammo storage in here. You can walk in and everything. That's neat. That's really neat. There we are. So it can now hold 13,000 at least, and let's put that over at the resource zone. And so there we are, we now have 4 infinite resource zones. Like I said before, there will be a straw poll in the description, so which enemy or enemies am I going to fight next? I'm sorry that it's been a bit of a weird episode and my upload schedule's been a bit funny, but I have actually had to go back to speech therapy recently. Not exactly the most pleasant thing in the world, but I am getting better and I can do the talking again. It's just putting me off making content all that frequently. Either way though, hopefully the next episode will be out soon, because I'm going to be doing some retrofitting of our currently in use forces to make them a little bit more in use, so I'm not only using the Krull and the Bloodletter. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.